Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, very happy new year to all of you. And yeah, this series has been good as of now till now. So as I have gone through all the 5 videos of this flight list UI example, 4 videos of that and another one of custom painter, I have been going through the comments, and we are continuously working on whatever feedback I am getting from your side. So as we can see, there are a lot of scope of improvement. So let's talk about what all we have done as a response to the feedback that you guys have given me. So after watching maybe the second part, this guy has said that I can back this app with Firebase or something, okay, like this here. So in part 3, definitely we part 4 we integrated it with Firebase. And there were some links, there were some comments asking for doing some state management. So today it's time to add the state management into the app using block pattern. Definitely this guy asked for better font size, increase in the font size. So maybe in the part 4 I have increased the font size, or the awesome custom painter video I have increased the font size. So there was another request of state management, so today that request will be completed. And there was one comment which actually uh, is okay, but definitely I can say that let me take you to the comment. So yeah, this guy says that uh, dragging your video too long. So I am admitting that my videos are very much longer because I started with the part 1, and definitely I had to explain things clearly, and I went very slow. Even I believe that I am explaining very slow. And but today I will be changing the pattern of my series, how I will go through that, so that you will come to know in within 1 minute. Next, latest I got an error that my pop-up has a bug. Okay, so this is the image that is actually happening. So our pop-up gets multiple locations. So, and there are so many issues related to that. My repository has different code than what I teach in the tutorial. So today I will be telling you everything how I have fixed that, and from next time these type of issues will not happen. So let me tell you what I will be doing, how I will be going in this video. Okay, let's start from here right now very fast. So if I tell you how much we are right now, where we are, which state we are. So right now we don't have any block pattern involved in this. We have simple many usage of set state. So this will be removed when we use block pattern, and we will be using stateful widget only for dispose method, okay, which is not yet implemented. Now for that, okay, so yeah, so definitely for using block pattern I will be using rx start. And let me tell you, um, what thing I have brought is I will go to version control, or maybe I can go to VCS and apply the patch. So I have already coded the block pattern into Flight app, and I will be adding the apply patch. Okay, I have created a patch, and that patch I will be applying, and the differences I will be highlighting you, plus I will be explaining you. So there will be no live coding today, but complete explanation of what block is and how it works. Okay, so you might be knowing that block is generally a, okay, block is basically it's a short form of business logic component. So this concept was given by Google, and we have implemented it in a right now in a very simpler way. I would say there are not complex things involved in this, but I have followed a post called it's a post from this guy. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this post is a home for learning how block can work in various different ways, and we have used this type of concept called block provider. Okay, let me give you a brief of what is a block provider. So basically block provider will extend a stateful widget. There are two ways to do it. You can also do it with extending inherited widget, but inherited widget does not have a dispose method. So we cannot clear off our block streams which are already defined in the block. We cannot close them. So that's why we are using a stateful widget, so that we get access to the dispose method and we can close the streams that are opened in the block. Okay. Now it is completely similar to what we did in the inherited widget. Okay, I should not be explaining this, but for the sake of simplicity you should be knowing that a block provider has two things in most important. First is a child and the second is the block. So basically every block that you create will implement block base. Okay, and whenever you want to apply a block on top of a widget, you would just give a block provider and give the block whichever block you want to do, and child will be the widget which on which the block will be working. Okay, so this is just a stateful widget norm, create a state, and this is the state of that, which only has a build method and the dispose method, which will dispose the block when the screen is closed, or whenever the system wants to close it, and this build method will build this widget. Okay, this is just a static method so that we can get access to that particular block anywhere wherever the context is same. Okay, so not extending it too much, let me go to the code. So we just copied this complete file. It is there in the repository as well on this URL. So you can go there and check it out, or you can go to my repository as well. When I push this code, it is similar. Okay. Now, let me show you two type of blocks that I created. First is the app block, which is residing on my both the screens. Basically, why I need an app block? See, whenever there is a common content or there is a content which is required in two screens, I don't think that two blocks should be used for that content. One block can be sufficient for that, and I will show you in detail in future that how this block is accessible in both the screens. Okay, so there are two blocks. First is app block, which is for complete both the screens, main.dart, home screen, and flight list. Okay, second will be our flight list block.dart. So these two files I have added. Flight list block basically only has deals to work with, whereas don't get confused, don't get very much heavy, don't take it heavy, it is very easy to do. Plus I have also removed Firebase service layer and moved it to service only the API folder, all code of calling the services, and blocks, all the blocks are here. So this is home screen block, this is a flight list block, there is a app block, and there is a block provider. Block provider I have told you, app block I have told you, flight list block I have told you. What is this home screen block? So basically home screen block is another type of block similar to flight list block. It only works on the data which is there on the home screen. This works, flight list block works on the data which is there on the flight list screen, and app block works on the data which works on whole app. Okay, it's like you can say application class. Okay, when we create in Android. So second thing, there were some comments saying that my custom app bar and custom app bottom bar, there was some confusions, so let me clear it out. That my custom app bottom bar, I just rename it to custom app bottom bar. Okay, and we don't need this file at all. I will be removing this, let me delete it, and let me show you there is no usage of this, so I'm deleting it, and it will be, I think you will understand this. So this custom app bottom bar is used in main.dart. So basically you can see this. Okay, it's not here. Okay, it's in maybe, oh sorry, where it's used. Okay, it's not there. Let me check. Okay, custom app bar. So okay, there is some issue. Let me solve this. So custom app bar. Okay, so this was the issue. Custom app bottom bar, which has this. Okay, and my font size might be smaller. Let me increase it. Yeah, it was 16 last time. So sorry, till now it was very less. Okay, so this works. Now it will be okay. Now let me run it once again. So I will be going through the differences what I made, and I will be explaining what I am doing, and I will just, before going to the code, I will explain how it is done. Okay, let's see. I will try to make this video short, and as you can see, I actually added 4 cities in Firestore, so there's why it's showing 4, and image was same. So basically, after adding all the blocks, it's working pretty fine, and all the functionality is retained. No issues with that. It was working same before the block, and after block also it's working same. So how I handled this everything. Now let me first go to the very simplest part. So flights and hotels toggling, how we handled. Basically, we had one variable is flights selected, and based on this I was actually having set state method earlier. Okay, so that I removed. Let me show you. It will be here. So this, whenever there is a let me go to that. Okay, so see, this was the choice chip. You don't watch this part, it's very different. Let's go to the older part. So it was set state, and is flight selected was true, made to true when flights was selected. It was made to false when hotel was selected. Okay, this was working fine, no issues with that, but we need to use block in this. Now how I did it, the block basically works. It has, for every variable it has a stream controller, which actually has two things. One is sync, second is stream. So let's go to that part. Okay, I think my main.dart has some issues. It definitely has some issues. Is it an old one? Yeah, so this is the right one. Okay, yeah, it has this app bottom navigation, but I was actually opening a different one. No, sorry, let me this. Right, so this is the one. Yeah, sorry guys, this is the one. Actually there were multiple main.dart open, so my bad again. So let's start with this. I basically created a home screen block. Okay, now as I was saying that there is a controller, there is a sync, there is a stream. So what we will do here is basically, whenever we have a flight selected controller here, so this controller will provide two variables. One will be sync, second will be stream. So whenever there is a change, you add it in the sync, and someone is listening the stream, and that stream gets updated whenever there is a change in the controller. Okay, well, whenever there is some addition into the controller, into the stream. Okay, so similarly, we go to main.dart, and we have home screen block. Now what we have done is we have changed it like this. Let me show you again. So basically you add this okay, so you only had home screen here, but now you have a block provider, you have home screen as a child of it, and home screen block as a block of it. So you will get home screen block further down the tree whenever you want it, using block provider dot of uh, uh, wait dot of home screen block and passing in the context. So you will get it back without initializing it again, because it already got initialized earlier from this part. You got it initialized here. Okay, so in main you had this block provider and home screen block here. Okay, now what this home screen block pro gives you, it gives you flight state selected controller, it gives you sync, it gives you stream. Now these two variables should change according to the value of your stream. Okay, so let's go to that stream. Okay, this is the one. So what we did, we had only I guess we had only choice chip here, and on tap of on tap of that we were setting the state as I explained. But now we will be doing home screen block dot update flight selection. So this method sends true value, and this makes true, it adds true to the sync of flight selected controller. Okay, and the guy who is listening this is residing here. Home screen block dot is selected, is flight selected stream. So whenever there is it's true, this variable this stream gets the value true. So stream builder is there, it's a stream, and initial data, initially flight is selected and hotels is unselected, so initial data, so it's true here. And when I so as you can see, yeah, it's initially true. Then similarly for hotels also we wrap it around stream builder, and stream is flight selected stream. Okay, then here also whenever there is a tapping on hotels, update flight selection false is passed. So when I tap on this method adds false to our controller, and the stream which is listened by again hotels gets false value here. Okay, and it it actually makes it true. So our uh, choice chip which works on true or false, so it makes hotels as selected and makes this as false. So this gets unselected, flights get unselected, and hotels get selected. So this is how home screen block is implemented. So this is the I guess this is the complete combination of three things: one controller, second sync, and third is stream. Okay, and on dispose method, which is coming from block base abstract class, is implemented, and it closes this stream, because if I don't close, you can see there is an error. It says close instances of dart.co.sync. So it's very much required to close the sync. And you might be wondering when this block is getting disposed. So it's getting disposed in this class itself, jet.block.dispose. So whenever there is disposing of block provider, which also you are using here, basically you are using it here. So when this home screen gets disposed, this also gets disposed, and whenever this material app is getting disposed, block provider also gets disposed, and it calls the dispose method of block provider, which calls the dispose method of the block. Okay, now how do you get the instance of this block further down the tree? Basically you have home screen. In home screen, if you want to get the access of your your home screen block, so basically see here I don't need, so I didn't get it, but in the top part I need it. So I created just a variable, and I got the instance of my home screen block from my parent. Okay, and here on disposing of this I am calling home screen block to dispose. Okay, so now let's start with how will I get the locations. So earlier you might be wondering that whenever these four locations are there, when I go to this search and come back, it becomes 8. This issue is also solved. Why? Because earlier add locations method was getting called multiple times. Why it was getting called, let me give you a glimpse of that. Okay, let me search for add locations. See, add locations is getting called in stream builder. Okay, and stream builder is written inside this build method, and this is a stateful widget. So whenever this gets built, add locations method was getting called, and this method, what it was doing, let me show you. It was adding locations but not clearing the locations at the first line of this. So it was adding it into multiple times, but we got rid of add locations from our main.dart itself, because all the data handling is being done in the services now, services and the blocks. So let me give you a glimpse of that. So basically we had something like Firebase service here written. Now we don't need that because I had used app block. Let's go to app block. App block is also inside block provider. So wherever I want app block's reference for my children, so I can actually get it like this. Okay, now let me go to this app block. What it does, it has lot of content actually, so I will break this down and explain you what it does. Basically I have first of all I have a variable for Firebase service. Let me tell you what Firebase service is doing. So whenever Firebase service is getting initialized or the constructor of it is called, I use init Firebase, and in the init Firebase I am actually initializing, configuring Firebase app. That's it. It does this only. Now when this init Firebase is called, when this is initialized, now when Firebase service is initialized, it is initialized in the constructor of app block. Now as you can see, whenever our app starts, it actually calls this, and my Firebase service is initialized. So I removed initialization from my UI screen to my block part. Okay, then let me tell you okay, so let us first jump to the locations controller. Basically we would like to find means we have to hit the service for getting the locations. So that also we actually, I have written a service which gets me locations, which generally does only this part. Earlier this was written inside main.dart in the stream builder when I was initializing this, and when I was populating pop-up button, it was written there. But now get locations is getting called from app block. Okay, in the constructor. So this get locations, whenever this is called, it actually returns a stream of query snapshot. To that we can listen. Now whenever there is a output coming to that, there is an event is a type of, I guess, query snapshot, because this gives the query snapshot. It was listening for it and it gets it. So this event I actually pass to add locations. Okay, and then I parse it event.documents. Now in the this line is definitely not required. I have checked it. This method is getting called only once. Why? Because app block is getting initialized only once whole through the life cycle of the app. So when I get the snapshots, it's a simple loop, again the loop which I used earlier, and in the locations I add into the locations is again an empty list. Okay, which was already there in main.dart, so I removed it from there as well. So our only source of truth is block. Okay, there is no variable in main.dart holding any type of value. Every time we are referencing to the block class and block object and the variables inside that. Okay, so I add locations are getting added, and this add locations list. Okay, can you see this? What is this? This is basically a sync of locations controller. Locations controller is a stream controller. So for, as I explained in home screen block, there are three things. Similarly for locations also there are three things. One is the stream controller, second is the stream sync, and third is the stream. So someone might be listening for this. Okay, let's see. No one, because we have already written this thing here, so it's listening here. Okay, so when we listen to this, add locations is called, and this actually adds the locations list of strings to this controller. Okay, this is called, and we are adding. Then also we were doing something here in the main.dart, that whatever was the first location was becoming the from location. So we also have a from locations controller and sync of that and the stream of that, so we are adding it to that as well. Now who is actually, so as these locations are added, now let's see how they are utilized for this pop-up. Let's see here, pop-up menu button, as you can see. So basically, see this. So earlier I had yeah, so this is the from location stream. It yeah, this is the thing, children and item builder. So pop-up menu button has the item builder, so it builds item based on whatever locations are there. So we are referencing to the locations from app block. Okay, that's the only change here. And this first item we are actually working on, we are using app block dot from location stream. So initial will be this. It's actually not required much, but yeah, so this will be giving you the Boston right now. Okay, I think you are okay with this. And when we select something, suppose now comes the another part. So when we select California, what it does, it calls the add from locations, which is a sync of from location controller. So it's add to the sync, and someone is listening for this, but not right now. It's not listening right now, but as you can see, add from locations. See, I have written another listen here. So this this is listening for it, and my from location becomes the location which is selected, which is passed into the sync. Okay, so now what I do when I click on this search, what happens? So let me go to that on tap. So basically this was the code I actually had here, from location and to location, as you can see here. Let me go to that from location. See, I had from location and to location. So I removed them because I don't need anymore. What I need is, when I go to flight listing screen, I need the reference of app block. See, so basically I yeah, let me go it, yeah. So for the top part, means when I click on this search, what I need from location and to location. So here I will get the reference of my app block. Now how I have got this app block reference? Because see, flight list screen and app block was defined in my main.dart, but it was on top of my material app. So everywhere down the tree I can have reference to app block by using this. I got the reference of app block, which is not initialized, so it has all the values which were there earlier. So it has from location, it has to location, it has Firebase service, it has locations. Okay, now what I do, I just simply use this app block, and instead of using it from inherited widget from location, I use it app block dot from location and app block dot to location. I think you are getting the concept. We have made this app so there is no set state now, not here and nowhere here. Okay, third thing, oh, now since we are on this main.dart, I have explained you how I am posting locations here. Now let me explain you what I am doing here. So there is a one more minor change. earlier view all, it was hard coded 12, so I actually made it dynamic, whatever was the data. So based on that I made it dynamic. Okay, now here's the tricky part. I will get services, I will get the cities from my again services. Now let's see this very basic thing. Earlier it was just Firebase Firestore dot data dot something something. Okay, so I'm just hitting this city. I actually replaced it with app block dot cities counter stream. It's nothing but just a replacement of my earlier code. So what it does, it has cities counter controller dot stream. Now what is this? So basically I just created another counter for this. So let's not jump into that. First of all, let's see how I am getting the cities. I'm getting cities the similar way I am getting locations. So this get cities from the Firebase service will return me cities with the new price, order by new price, and this will return stream same as locations. Okay, and when I get these, I'm listening for this, and I'm adding cities snapshot dot add. This is very simple. This is similar to locations. Okay, I'm just adding to cities snapshot, which is a sync of cities snapshot controller. Okay, these are some variables. Okay, don't get confused. I have 5 streams and I have 1 2 3 4 5 combinations of sync and string, so it's just a norm that I'm following. Okay, now let's see. One thing you might be wondering, why I need published subject, because I actually listening for from locations stream multiple times, so I need published subject. Similarly, to locations stream I am listening multiple times, so published subject I need. Okay, okay. If I am not using this, I actually get a error that bad stream and it's already been listened, so that's why. Now getting to that cities part again, Firebase service dot get cities. Yeah, so this is for this part, but I also want the number of cities what I am getting. Now tell me one thing, how I can do this in a better way. See, cities I have to populate in this widget, so definitely I am getting for cities snapshot stream and building cities list similarly as I did earlier. But how I will get this stream reference in this widget? I will not get. So I will have to use another variable or another stream for that, and this stream gets updated whenever there is a downloading of cities, whereas there is a call of get cities. So when I'm listening to this, I add to cities counter as well. So as you can see, cities counter is again, it's a it's a sync which I am adding, and you can think of this as I don't have variable for cities counter here. Okay, because I am just updating it on the basis of stream. I don't need it another any other place. That's why I don't have published subject as well here. Okay, so cities counter, I whenever I am getting cities, I do two things. I add to cities snapshot, I add to cities counter as well, but the length of the cities. How many cities are there? So right now it's 4. So as you can see here, it's 4. Now whenever there is a addition to this, someone is listening to cities counter stream, and who is that? It's this guy who is listening for it. I think view all, yeah. So view all is listening for it, and it just prints the count of whatever cities are there. Okay, so I think this is also done, and I believe you are getting idea. If you don't like this way of explaining the things, please let me know. I will get back to the old version and try to make it slow. I will try to type in every time. Okay, now I guess everything is done, and yeah, I have covered all the 5 streams which I am using. Not one, this add to location. So there is a to location here. Now whenever there is a change in the text, I should be putting it in the add to locations stream, add to locations sync. So let me go to main.dart, and yeah, so whenever there is a change in the text field, app block.add to location. So I also got rid of one thing here. Let me show you. So I got rid of search field controller because where I was using it, I was actually getting the text and passing it into the flight listing screen. So as I am not needing here, so I don't need that as well. Okay, so whenever there is a change in the text, I pass it to the add to locations and add to the sync the text, and someone is listening for it. Oh, sorry, no one is listening, but uh, in the app block, this to location stream is being listened. So whenever there is a change in the sync, okay, something I'm adding to the sync of two locations controller, there is a stream denoted to it. So when someone is listening, so this guy is listening, and when I get location, I actually use this variable and assign location to two location, and this two location I'm using in flight list. Now this is the magic, I just wrapped my app block on top of my material app, and anywhere I can use it, and app block has two location. I need not pass it to this particular constructor or this, yeah, I need not pass. So I remove two variables from here, and they are just getting referenced anywhere in the uh, means if you have 10 or 15 screens further down the tree, you can just get the reference of app block by this statement, and you can use it anywhere. Okay, now getting to these deals, it's very same. Now you might be wondering why I didn't add uh, deals controller here and my flight selected controller here. Why I created a different block for that, see, it's not a good practice to make the app block heavy, so only put the contents which are actually required in multiple screens. This is my belief, I don't know what is the norm. So I created flight list block, I guess. Yeah, and I only have deals controller, deals sync, and deals stream. It works the same way, but you might be wondering, Firebase service was initialized in app block. How can I get the reference to this in flight list block? So it's very simple. When you go to main.dart, when you go to flight list, I actually initialize this flight list block, I guess. So I wrapped my complete flight listing screen on my scaffold in block provider. My child was this widget, and my block was flight list block, which actually had Firebase service coming from my app block. So again, you can see my Firebase service is getting initialized only once. This I can prove as well. I can write a single print statement here in my constructor, in every constructor, and I can prove it that the constructor is not getting called again and again. Okay, so yeah, so as you can see, I'm in flight list. I pass this service to flight list block, and now I can call services from here as well. So I call deals service, which is looking like this. Same way, I get the deals, and someone is listening to this stream, and who is that, what it is doing. So it just gets the event, and deals sync dot add adds the event. Basically, you can say that it's a query snapshot that is being added to deals sync, and again deals stream is being listened here in this stream builder. So basically, this list, actually earlier it was stream builder, but it was written firestore dot, so there was a service call required here as well. Now I think you are able to understand. And I personally think that inherited flight listing is not required right now. Why? Because from locations and to locations are not there. So you can remove it. Let me do it here. Let me do it here. So I completely delete this, not required. But okay. Let me keep it for the sake of the tutorial, because I actually created part 4 on inherited widget itself, and Firestore. So Firestore is there now, inherited is not there. So I don't think it's a good thing if someone watching the fourth video and going to the GitHub repository, since I have not maintained this GitHub repository very well. But from next time I will be doing this. So I will be creating multiple branches for the video parts that I am releasing, and that would be much appreciated from you guys as well, because there was a comment here which actually shows that you actually do in parts, I guess. Maybe branches. No, there was something. Anyways, this is the end of the tutorial. Let me give you a glimpse of what I did. So I actually structured my app into services, which has Firebase service. As of now, it initialized it and makes 3 service calls. Then I have blocks, which are getting hold of all the data which is being there in the app. So there is a block provider, which is a general pattern which can be followed by anyone. And then I have this app block, which is initializing Firebase service in the constructor of its. This app block will be used in all the screens whatever I develop. And further down, flight list block is only used for getting the deals. Home screen block is getting used only for the toggle of flight and hotels. I made changes here, minimal changes. You can see custom app bottom bar. So basically only the renaming of the file, because renaming of the class, because this was wrong class name. It is not an app bar, it's a bottom app bar. So that's what creating the confusion earlier on. In the flight list only, I removed the dependencies of Firebase cloud, and from location to location I used block variables here. So basically this is the thing. I guess you liked the video. Please subscribe to my channel if you are loving the content which I am posting here, and let me know how did you like the video, especially this one, because I actually changed the way I am doing for I am working for this. And yeah, so please let me know in the comment section below what are your thoughts on this. And in the coming next video I will be starting a new design, and maybe completely going through the same pattern. So let me give you the glimpse of what I will be working on. So basically this is the thing that you will be getting, and it's under construction right now. So okay, that's it for the video guys. Thank you very much, and a very happy new year to you, all of you. And enjoy the 2019.